Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. I'm back again with another set of Arsenal news. We're gonna be running through a couple of stories around the club. It's been a long time without me creating content, so it's going to be lots of stories. We're gonna be running through lots and lots of stories. Make sure you stick around, till the end, and also make sure you hit the like button and get involved in the comment section below. Share with me your opinions about this story. So much to talk about. Marcus Rashford, Joao Felix, the fact that Arsenal could go for two strikers in the summer from Football in London, and Chris Whitley, that is also out. And of course, the Sun also coming out and saying Arsenal could be spending around 100 to 150 million pounds in the summer. Lucas Paqueta and Sagina Brick all linked with Arsenal, and of course, the latest today is around Jonathan David as well, and the contract, the contract situation of players like William Saliba, which is also very, very, very key, in our coming summer. So, look, it's a lot to talk about. Let's start off with Marcus Rashford. He's been linked with Arsenal, and the story basically comes from sources in trying to indicate that he's considering his future. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, he did come out and said, Marcus Rashford has started considering his future, given that Manchester United, was starting to drop him, and he feels like he's unhappy, he's not getting the game time, he deserves at Manchester United, and I think. For me, look, I honestly think that is about the story. That is all about the story. It's been linked with Arsenal. It's been linked with PSG. Actually, the story between Marcus Rashford and Arsenal is that Arsenal would be open to taking Marcus Rashford. He is a good player. He's a talent. I think at the moment, Marcus Rashford and Arsenal. Are they compatible? Probably yes. If you look at his age bracket, and the age bracket Arsenal trying to build at the club, the likes of Saka, Martinelli. Yes, he fits into there. But a player who's running away because he's not getting game time at Manchester United. I think. Rashford got the game time at United. Players like Jadon Sancho have been waiting, patiently sitting on the bench, and the fact that he's been dropped a little and then he wants out, I think Arsenal, especially under Mikel Arteta, and we know how radical Mikel is. He wants players that are very, very, he wants players that are so obedient, players that are so, calm. Players that are really going to work under him without any complaints. So I don't see Marcus Rashford really getting along with Mikel Arteta. But in the first place, I don't see him leaving Manchester United, despite the fact that there are talks of him, wanting, a better challenge and things like that. With Rashford, I think he's one of those players that are really going to be committed to Manchester United. I don't see him going anywhere unless others, because linked with Arsenal, there Marcus Rashford. Now the next player, lads, today that has been linked with Arsenal is the man himself, Jonathan David, and Leighton Sport right from France have actually said that Arsenal and Liverpool are favourites to sign Lille's Canadian striker Jonathan David. That is as per Leighton Sport. I think. Look, the agent of Jonathan David has already come out in January and confirmed that his client will actually be playing in the French League for the last time for the last season. So it looks like he's going to be moving on. He's spoken about possibilities in Spain. He's spoken about possibilities in the Premier League. He said the Spanish La Liga is one league that really, really excites Jonathan David, and also he would love to play in the Premier League. I think with Liverpool, Jonathan David. And the kind of player Jonathan David is, I don't see Liverpool go for him. I think it's going to be between Arsenal and maybe some other clubs, but it could be even a one club race where Arsenal go for Jonathan David, and there is no other club involved in that. But also Jonathan David linked with Arsenal today, and Leighton Sport right from France are saying that Arsenal could be the favourites with Liverpool to sign the player. That story is also there, but I really don't feel it's at the moment. I honestly feel it's very far away from happening. It's very, very far away from us to know. whether Jonathan David will be moving to Arsenal or Liverpool, at this point in time. It's going to take at least another month, maybe April, and then in May we can try to understand exactly what the situation will be. But in the very interesting stories around Arsenal is Serge Gnabry. Now, Football.London today have actually come out and put up this story, and they've said Arsenal are considering a shock transfer for their former player, Serge Gnabry, and could pay Bayern Munich over 63 million for the player. Now, this is a story that I've actually looked at personally over the past few weeks, and I was like, right, this is one that is would be interesting. What is happening with Serge Gnabry, and this is from Fabrizio Romano. He says the player is being considered as for a new contract, long-term contract. The only problem Serge Gnabry and Bayern have is that they have failed to meet that consensus. They failed to have that consensus, but I think it will be met very soon. Now, Arsenal going back for Serge Gnabry would be very, very wonderful signing. I really can't lie. Look, he was speaking about his potential move to the Premier League, and he said there is a very, very interesting project in the UK, a very interesting project in London, and he says you never know what could happen in the future. But for me, Bayern, they would be crazy to take on Serge Gnabry from where he was, made him the player he is, and then certainly drop him. If it is for money and Bayern are not willing to give him the money, probably you understand. But I think at some point in time, there will be a consensus. Bayern will reach a consensus with Serge Gnabry. Believe me, believe me or not, at some point in time, they will reach a consensus. But that story is also there. Arsenal linked with the man himself, Serge Gnabry, an interesting player, very, very interesting player. Now, talks from reports from France are indicating that Arsenal have already started initiating what you'd call preliminary talks with the representatives of William Saliba for a new contract. Now, Saliba has come out today and in an interview via Sport Witness, and he said, look, ever since February, I've been average. I've not actually put in those kind of performances. I did put in when I had just joined Olympique de Marseille. But I think the interesting part here is around the contract and what his future is at Arsenal. Right now, we are in the top four. I've already said it. If you are in the top four, if you are in the top five, you qualify for Europa League, your players are always going to have time on the ball, despite the fact that they might not be first choice players in the Premier League. But they have so many more opportunities. Europa League, UEFA Conference League. If you qualify for any of that, you have the Carabao Cup, you have the FA Cup. And I think when William Saliba comes back, there's gonna be a lot of football at Arsenal. It's unlike this season where football was really, really scanty, and in the FA Cup you saw it. It was only one game and we were out. Yes, we did go as far as we could in as far as quarterfinals in the Carabao Cup. But how many times do you play the Carabao Cup? It's not as frequent as the Europa League, and I think with William Saliba, Arsenal trying to give him a new contract. Of course, he's considering his future as well. That story is there. Olympique Marseille have already come out and confessed the fact that they would love to sign him. They would love to take him, on a permanent basis, just like they took Matteo Guendouzi. Real Madrid have also, expressed their interest in trying to sign him. So if there is any little spot, any little if there is any little chance that Arsenal do sign him on a permanent, on a long-term contract, I think we should definitely do that. Talks have been initiated, and we wait to see what is going to happen. Of course, the players already, has come out and said, look, in the past few, months, February, and in these last 2 months, February and March, have actually not been, really, really excellent. We're also looking at Lucas Paqueta. Now, this is according to CalcioMercato.com. And they've said Arsenal have identified Lucas Paqueta as a transfer target. PSG are also keen on the 24-year-old who is under contract with Lyon until 2025. Now, this is a story, lads, that of course, it really directly links to what Chris Whitley was talking about yesterday. The Arsenal are looking at, are looking at a summer, which could be actually huge. Two strikers, a right back, a backup right back, to be clear. And in that one, we are looking at Jed Spence, and now we are also looking at a central midfielder. So Lucas Paqueta, again, that very interesting player. I think he can really work well as a number 10, and he can to work well as a central midfielder. Xhaka in that midfield together with Thomas Partey. I think it's the end. It should be it should be the end of an era at some point in time. Lucas Paqueta, one player that I would definitely take all day long. So look, I think it's still lots of speculation, because if you look at where we've been from January until where we are now, from the likes of Ruben Neves being priorities, now Lucas Paqueta being identified, I think by the time we go into the summer, today I've seen stories about Renato Sanchez. So by the time we go into the summer, it's going to be different. It's going to be it will be priorities being outlined now, but at this point in time, I still feel it's a lot of talk. And the last story I will talk to you, lads, talk to you about today, lads, is Martin Odegaard. Now, stories have started leaking that Odegaard could be Arsenal's next captain. I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm not going to really speak about it, but I will get time and we will come live and we'll speak about this. But Odegaard, is he the best candidate? Is it the best candidate among all the players that can actually come as Arsenal captains? You have Kian Tierney in there. I think you have a Partey in there. You have if Lacazette stays, he could remain as captain. If he doesn't stay, because Arsenal are still considering giving him a contract. So what do you think about Martin Odegaard becoming our next captain at Arsenal? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you right in the next one, and that will be very soon.